Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video. We're diving into the opening scene of Kaurismäki's Fallen Leaves. In the opening scene of Fallen Leaves, we are introduced to the protagonist as she navigates a quiet moment in her dimly lit home. She engages in everyday tasks, warming food, listening to the radio, and eventually leaving the room after turning on a light. Kaurismäki uses a 2.35:1 aspect ratio to frame this scene, which enhances the film's visual storytelling. This wider format allows for a more cinematic view, emphasizing the character's isolation within her environment, setting up the frame and use of negative space. Kaurismäki's framing is intentionally sparse and minimalist. The protagonist is often positioned off-center within the wider frame, surrounded by significant negative space. This design choice creates an environment where she seems enveloped by her surroundings, with empty areas amplifying her sense of isolation. Negative space functions as more than just a visual absence. It enhances the narrative by creating psychological distance. Here, it visually represents the character's emotional detachment from the world around her. This approach aligns with principles discussed in digital cinematography, where negative space is crucial in directing viewer attention to the subject's emotional state. By surrounding the protagonist with emptiness, Kaurismäki effectively highlights her loneliness, making the audience acutely aware of her internal struggles. The wider aspect ratio further reinforces this feeling of isolation. Camera placement and static framing. The camera placement in this scene is crucial for maintaining a sense of observational distance. The camera remains mostly static, capturing the protagonist from a slight distance, allowing viewers to observe her actions without intruding upon her space. This static framing reinforces themes of isolation by preventing viewers from feeling fully immersed in her world. This observational approach reflects Kaurismäki's directorial style, where the camera acts as a quiet observer, rather than an active participant in the character's life. By keeping the camera stationary and slightly distanced, lighting and depth within the frame. Lighting plays a vital role in this scene, complementing the framing choices and enhancing the overall mood. The lighting is soft and low, casting gentle shadows that create a subdued atmosphere. The dim light captures the protagonist in a muted palette, reflecting her quiet and introspective emotional state. The interplay of light and framing creates layers within the shot, giving the scene greater depth. The subtle illumination allows the viewer to focus on the protagonist, largely untouched by brightness. The contrast between the illuminated character and the surrounding darkness enhances the narrative of solitude and longing, symbolic act of leaving the light on. In the final moments of the scene, the protagonist turns on a light before leaving the room. This small action carries significant symbolic weight. By leaving the light on, she creates a contrast between the illuminated space she leaves behind and the shadowed environment outside. This action serves as a visual metaphor for her desire for connection and warmth, even in an otherwise lonely existence. The light she leaves on symbolizes a flicker of hope, suggesting a yearning for connection despite her solitude. This use of light as a narrative device resonates with the themes of isolation and quiet resilience, which Kaurismäki masterfully integrates into the film. The illuminated room stands as a poignant representation of her inner struggle, hinting at her desire for companionship against the backdrop of her loneliness. Kaurismäki's attention to framing, lighting, and subtle symbolism in this opening scene serves as a perfect introduction to the themes of loneliness and quiet resilience that weave through the film.